everybody, today's class is specifically for people who work a desk job or do a lot of sitting. We're going to work to open up your chest and your shoulders and also release tension in your hips and your lower back. For this class, you're going to need a block or a box or a book, something you could sit on, and a strap or a belt will work just fine as well. The block is totally optional. You may not need it. All we're going to use it for is to sit on. So if you have tight hips and it's hard for you to sit in this position, go ahead and sit on your block or your box. If you don't need it, you can go ahead and remove it. We are going to start by rolling our head out in one direction. Pick what way, doesn't matter. We'll do 5 circles, trying to hit every little part as you roll it all the way around. Here's number 3. And 4, one more in this direction, 5. End with your head into your chest and reverse directions. 5 circles the other way. Here's 5. Roll it out. 4. And 3. 2. And last time, 1. Beautiful. All the way down, chin into the chest. Lift your head back up. You can interlace your fingers or just put your hands in fists, put them together, your elbows together. Gently press your chin up with your knuckles as you look up to the ceiling. We'll hold for about 10 seconds. Gentle opening of the neck and release down. Hands will go behind your head. You'll turn your elbows in towards each other and gently round your spine. The weight of your hands are going to help stretch your back. Your back should be in a curve here. So a full C curve, your belly's pulling in and back as you're rounding your spine, allowing a stretch all the way from the top of your neck all the way down into your tailbone. So the whole length of your spine should be feeling a nice stretch here. Always remember to breathe nice and deeply. Release your hands to your knees and roll back up to center. Take your left leg and bend it, place it behind you just comfortably. Your left arm will lift to the ceiling. You'll place your right hand onto the fingertips, so you're tenting your fingertips on the floor behind you. Twist to place your left hand on your right knee. Sit up really tall on your inhale, and exhale, you'll look back over your shoulder, over your right shoulder, and take a gentle twist. Again, trying to take your breath nice and full. Big inhale through the nose. Full exhale out the nose. And return to center. We'll change legs. Left leg will come to the front. Right leg will go behind. Right arm lifts to the ceiling. Tent the left fingertips behind you. Twist to place the right hand on the left knee and look back over your left shoulder. Inhales make your spine taller, taller, taller. Exhales rotate you just a little bit deeper. On average, we'll hold these stretches for just about 20 seconds. It's a really quick flow just to help release some tightness and tension in your body. And release, come back to center. Make your way onto your knees so you can sit back over your heels. If it's really hard for you to sit over your heels, place the block or the book or whatever you have underneath your bum. You can do it on whatever level you need to. And again, if you don't need it, just come back onto your knees. Sit up nice and tall. And we will place our right fingertips down onto the mat. You'll turn your head over so your ear is going to pour down towards your left shoulder. Your right hand will go on top and gently pull your head down towards your shoulder. You should feel a nice stretch all the way through the right side of your neck, all the way down into your trapezius muscle on the top of your shoulder. Keep your breath nice and deep and release. We'll go to the other side. Left hand will go down to the floor. Right hand will come on top and gently tug the head down to the shoulder, opening up the left side of your neck all the way down into your left shoulder. Try to make space between your left ear and your left shoulder. So you're opening up as much space as you can between those two points. release, and come back to center. For this next one, I will turn around so you can see this better. Your right arm will go behind your back. You'll take a hold of your right wrist with your left hand, and you'll tilt your head over to your right shoulder. So again, we're working to stretch out through the side of the neck, but we're also opening a little in our shoulder joint as well here. Just gently pulling that arm further over to the side with your left hand. Can be very, very gentle. No need to yank anything here. And now let's change sides. So the left hand will cross behind the back. You'll take a hold of the left wrist with the right hand and tilt your head over to the left shoulder. Again, it should be ear to shoulder here, releasing down. And gently just pulling that arm further to the side as you open up in this stretch. Breathing in and out and release. I'll turn back around now. Make your way back into your cross-legged seated position here, however you need to get there. And again, if your hips are tight, go ahead and grab that block and sit on it. It will help to open you up, give you more range of motion. Don't feel bad if you need to take that. We'll move into what is called eagle arms here. The right arm will come in front of you. The left arm is going to wrap down and around. Should be about a 90-degree angle, and your palms will touch together. As you hold here, try to pull your shoulder blades away from each other so you're really stretching through that upper back, getting a nice opening in between those shoulder blades. The elbows will stay about 90. Now let's twist over to the left side. The hands stay right in front of the face. And there's little Nashi walking in front of us here. Getting just a little twist through the spine. Breathing nice and deeply. Return to center and we will change. Left arm will come in front. Right arm's going to sweep down and around. The palms will come together. Elbows should be about 90 degrees out from your shoulders. Pull the shoulder blades apart, really separating your scapula, making space in the middle of your back, right in between those shoulder blades. And twist over to the right. Hands will stay right in front of your face. You can look straight out so your nose is pointing right to your arms. Big full breaths. Just done, and move back to center. Release your arms down. We will stretch the right arm over our head. The left hand will come back. Take a hold of the elbow. Try to lift your chin out of your chest. It's really easy to let it fall down. If you have tight shoulders like I do, it's hard to get the chin up. Do the best you can. And you're just trying to pull that elbow more behind your head as you stretch here. Now we'll fall over to the left side to get a stretch through the right side body. And if you'd like, you can also try to look up towards the ceiling here. You don't have to change your gaze, but it'll give you a little bit of a deeper stretch. Back to center. We'll change sides. Left arm up and over. Take a hold of the elbow with your right hand. Try to shift it back behind your head. Try to lift your chin up out of your chest. Nice stretch through the tricep muscles on the back of your arm, as well as into your whole shoulder joint as you try to move that back behind your head. Now we'll tilt over to the right side, getting a stretch through our left side body and our obliques here. And again, if you want, you can turn that gaze and start to look up towards the ceiling for a little added stretch. And return back to center. Release both of your arms down. Hands will come onto your shoulders and the elbows will lift to a 90 degrees. We're going to circle the arms forward so the elbows will come in towards each other, then open out wide, trying to find that 360 degree range of motion in our shoulder joints. We're doing 10 of these circles to the front, circling around, elbows point forward, up and out. Reverse and go back and around. Try to open the chest and the shoulders as those elbows pull back and around to the front. Big circles, 10 total. We're just about there. Circle back and around, and release the arms down. Grab your strap or your belt. And for this exercise, the closer your hands are together, the more intense the stretch will be. The further away your hands are, the less intense. So we're going to open our chest and the arms will come back behind us. And then we'll inhale and lift our arms back overhead. Exhale, lower the arms down. Try to keep your elbows straight as you lift and lower. Squeeze the shoulder blades to come back behind you. And then rotate your arms back overhead. Squeeze down and lift back up. Oh, here's my kids. Squeeze down and lift it back up. Squeeze. Now go on the diagonal and lift your chest, lift your chin, look to the ceiling. We'll hold here for 20 seconds, really working to open up through the front of our body, through our chest and our shoulders as we squeeze the shoulder blades together on the back side to open up the chest on the front side. Lift your arms back overhead and release them down. Move your strap or belt off and take just some easy circles with your shoulders around one way and change direction, circle them out the other way just to help release those shoulders out. You can shake your head a little if you need to as well. We are going to come onto face the side and come into a down dog position. So lift the hips up and back. Try to drop the heels down and press through your chest. We'll pedal out our feet here, lifting one heel while dropping the other down. Shifting side to side, we'll take 10 of these shifts. Lifting one heel, lowering the other, starting to work a little into our hamstrings on the back of our legs as we pedal out our feet. Now come to down dog. You can bend your knees anytime we're in down dog. Now we're going to bend our knees really deeply down to the mat and then try to straighten the legs. They may not get all the way straight. Don't worry about that. Bend and stretch. Keep pressing the chest back towards the floor as you stretch your hips up to the sky. And bend the knees deeply. Stretch the hips back up. One more time. Bend the knees. Stretch your hips up. Press your chest back. We'll hold in our down dog for 5 breaths. Keeping your breath as even as possible. Inhale through your nose, about to a count of 4, and exhale out through your nose to a count of 4. Try to keep your back nice and long by pulling your ribs in and pushing them back towards your spine so that your chest and your shoulders and your armpits will really start to open up. As you hold here, try to get more length through the legs. And we will look forward. Step your right foot up between your hands into a low lunge and then drop your left knee down as you wiggle your toes forward so they come in front of your hands. Drop down to your back hip. So let your back hip sink down to the mat. You'll lift your chest up and we will hold here, getting a stretch through the front of our hip flexors. Now this is really important. If you sit a lot, your hip flexors, or what makes your hips crease at the top of your leg, those are your hip flexors. Those are going to get super tight. And they can also cause lower back pain because they're pulling in too much. They're too tight. So this will help to release that out. Let's step back to our down dog and do the other side. Left foot steps forward. You can wiggle those toes forward so your heel is in front of your hands. Drop your right knee down to the mat. Lift your chest up. Also, anytime we are in this, it's called a hip blaster. Anytime we're in this, if your back knee is feeling a lot of pressure, you can feel free to roll your mat up a couple of times and place it under your knee so it's a little more supported. Or you can grab a pillow or a blanket and put that underneath your knee as well. There's Natchy again, dragging his blanket. As much as we try, we can't always keep my kids out of these videos. He was telling me he wanted me to sleep with him on the couch. And let's push the hips back up. Find your down dog just one more time. As you walk your hands back to your feet to come into a forward fold, take hold of your opposite elbows and gently shift your weight to the right and to the left. a very gentle swing from side to side. Try to point your hips up to the ceiling as much as you can. Your weight should be shifted forward to the balls of your feet. And now let's go to center and just hang down in this rag doll. So you are just reaching down with your head towards the mat. You're trying to straighten your knees as much as you can. They may still be bent, and that's okay. Get as much stretch as you can and hang forward. This is a great release for your lower back. Keep breathing deeply and fully. Release your elbows, look forward, walk your hands out, and bend your knees to come down into a tabletop position. In tabletop, we want our knees directly under our hips and our shoulders directly over our wrists. Cat-cow, shift the tailbone to the ceiling, lift your chest, look up. Inhale, we'll round the spine, curving it in. Exhale, tilt the pelvis, look up. Inhale, round the spine, tuck the pelvis. Exhale, shift the pelvis up, look to the ceiling. Exhale, round everything in. 2 more cat-cows. Tilt and look up, that's our cow. And then this is like a mad cat that's hissing when you press up. 1 more time. Shift and lift, tuck everything back in. And return to neutral position. Shift your hips back down over your heels. Walk your hands forward. Get them as straight as you can with your arms. Release your forehead down onto the mat. Take some big, deep breaths here. Again, if your hip flexors are really tight and it's hard for you to sit back on your heels, open your legs a little more. That'll give you a little more room. And you don't have to get all the way down onto your heels, but try as much as you can to sink back over your heels. Really work your breath here with those big, full inhales and exhales through your nose if at all possible. Roll yourself back up, cross your legs underneath you, come back to your seated position. If you need the block, grab the block and sit on top of it. Place your hands together at your heart. Thank you so much for joining me for this quick stretch. I hope your body feels more open and released. And I will see you next time. Thanks so much.